Hello, good morning, student. Good morning, how are you? Can you hear me?
Good morning.
All right, so we begin now. Um Yesterday, we continued with the discussion on the different stages of development according to Eric Erickson. So the focus of this development actually is in social context. That's the reason why uh, we call his theory as psychosocial. The developmental aspect of a child that is focused between the interaction of the social aspect and the social and the psychological aspect of person. And we finish already up to stage 4. Now I think we up to stage 5. Okay, so I'll just have to recap. Stage 5 is the most problematic area of development on Sigmund Freud because uh, this is where the height of activity of student of people are. No, people are trying to find, especially adolescents. No, adolescents are trying to find their niche. Adolescents are trying to establish what they want because basically it's very confusing on these states. Yeah, as even as simple as choosing of a dress, choosing a color or anything. No, this is actually where it happens. No, so on the next stage, it's a little bit more stable. No, because during this time, you know already what to do in your life because you know who you are, you know what you want, so you are ready to interact with other people. You're ready to form a deep relationship in with other people. No, that's why during this time you can establish an intimate relationship with the opposite gender. In short, you're ready to get married. In short, you're ready to get family. In short, you have already established a job. You have a job. Imagine after graduation, that will be the end of your identity and of your stage 5. So you will actually embark yourselves into a new life process. That is having a job and raising a family. No? Now, what happens here in this stage? No? If you fail to develop, you fail to reach the task, to achieve the task, that is intimacy, then there will be a very big problem because you're going to develop sense of isolation. All right? Isolation means you are different. You are away from other people. You think that way. You think that people do not love you because basically what is emphasized is that you are going to form a relationship with other people outside your family. So that's the reason why we have this intimacy. So you have to trust other people. You have to trust people to come to your life, to share with your life. Now, if you're going to share your life with other people, then there will be a big problem. There will be a big trouble. Now, I remember in my counseling sessions with some of our students and some of the people I know. Of course, I do this for free. No, uh, there are particularly locals. I counsel some locals who are actually aged around 29, 30, 31, 32. You know, I came to understand your culture. Actually, one of my counselee told me that once in your culture, once that you reach the age of 30, without a husband, first husband, then it could be a big problem to them. So that's the reason why this person who came to me was very depressed when he approached me because even the family members were asking, "Why are you not married yet? Yeah, your younger sister married first, and so on and so forth." No, of course, simple as it may seem, but inside the heart of this person, it's hurting, especially when that comment comes from a family member. It comes from a father, it comes from a mother, it comes from anyone from the family. So that hurts. And it actually results into isolation to depression. So that's a big problem. Yeah? So let me ask you: in your culture, is it correct to assume that you are supposed to be getting married during this time? Maybe after, let's say, at the age of 30, sometimes you should have found your husband already. Is it correct? I was told so. Anyone? Please try to confirm. Or you don't want to confirm? Anyway, moving forward, this is actually the basic idea here. Okay, so you could actually have developed sense of isolation if you were not able to reach the task we call intimacy. No husband, no relationship, no family, then there would be a problem. Then 5 and 6 will be at the tip of your life, at the top. You are on the top already. You imagine you have a stable job, you have a stable family, you have a stable career. Then your profession and your life will come to a plateau. It plateau. It will plateau. No. So it says on the next stage we call generativity versus stagnation. Here we call it middle adulthood, just like what we are reading right now, no, in COVID-19. At one point, the cases of COVID-19 climbs up, then stop climbing, right? That is the top, that is the tip, that is the highest point. Then later on, you actually move straight, you stagnate. That is actually what we have here. Now, then after that, on the eighth stage, in psychosocial development will go down. I will discuss later about it. Now in number 7, the focus of middle adulthood is an interest in guiding the next generation. What else to do? I will not look for anymore. I will not. You see, I have achieved what I want in life. This is the basic thing that you have in mind. I'm on the top of my profession. You became what you want to be. Before, right now, you are thinking that you would like to become a nurse. When you became a nurse, I would like to become a supervisor. Then I would like to become an DON. Then I would like to have lots of money. I would like to have a house. I would like to have a car. I would like to travel around the world. I would like to have a vacation every once in a while. So you have reached that stage of your life. So sometimes when you reach at the peak, it's boring. You see? So you have to find a way to channel your energy because there is just something in you that you could share. There is something in you that you would like to do. So you would like to reach out. In that case, you will join organizations. That's the reason why your parents who are actually at the top of the job, they join organizations. They do some sort of charitable activities, meeting here, meeting there. Sometimes they forgot about their family, traveling here, traveling there, because they try to find something. They try to prove that they are still relevant. That is actually the meaning of generativity, no? It's plateau. They know that it goes, that their life will go down eventually, but they are still trying to maintain it on the plateau, no? So this can be done through creative or productive work. So during this time, people may write books, people may write poetry, people may do something that is actually very relevant. People may teach, people may adapt a community, people will actually do some sort of charitable work, as I mentioned earlier. They do care for their children, the children of others, the children that's actually in the community. They reach out with other people. So this is what we have here. They would like to stay relevant. They would like to share something. They would like still to find their meaning. That's the reason why the task is generativity. They try to find the relevance in the society. Now, what happens if they cannot do that? Because they're already on the plateau. They feel that they are stagnated. They feel that they have achieved everything. When you have that feeling, that is boredom. You feel bored. When you have boredom, there is sadness. When there is sadness, there is loneliness, and at the same time, there is depression. When this sadness is prolonged, a person will get depressed. They will feel stagnated. They lost the purpose of life. This is the main point here. You see? That's the reason why during this time I belong here. If I cannot actually share something, I feel so irrelevant. What is the purpose in life right now? Sharing with other people, sharing what you have, treating other people. Because the time where I focus all my energy towards my self-development is already done, is already finished. I am done with that. There will be a point that you will come to that. At your stage, you are 17, 18, 19, you are still trying to find a way. You're trying to find your profession. You're trying to find who you are. You're still climbing on the ladder. But once that you reach this point, any person who reaches this stage may actually feel that they feel so stagnated. They are bored in their life. Once they are bored, then there will be a big problem. They would like a challenge. Sometimes most of the crimes committed in corporate business would actually be committed by people who belong to this because they would like to be relevant. They would like to have excitement because they could not actually find excitement anymore. They have achieved everything that they want in life. You see, that is actually what we have here. As long as you are still committed to share with other people, then it is great. As long as you are trying to share, to do charitable work, then that's good. You need to find an organization that you can actually work with to channel your energy still. Because you are still energetic during the time, then you are still relevant. Now, you need to generate, you need to help people. That is the task that you have to do. Once that you are stagnated here, once that you are not actually achieving the thing that you want, you will be stagnated. That will a problem. That will be a problem that you will encounter in the middle adulthood. Take note of that. Okay? Moving forward, once that you plateau already, this is what is essential and this is what is interesting in the context of Eric Erickson. It will go down. That's the reason why when I have shown you the picture at the start of the class, at the start of this chapter, I have shown you a child who was crawling. Then after that, a man who is holding a cane. But basically, you will actually go back as if you are still children. You see, this is actually the main point here. You are trying to prepare yourselves from becoming useless. So in stage 8, you have this stage called integrity versus despair, late adulthood. This is where your grandma, grandpas would belong to. This is the time for looking back on our lives. We have to look back. We have to review what did we do. You cannot get any younger. What you can only do is that you will actually try to review your life. That's the reason why I keep on telling children, I keep on telling people who are still trying to find their lives. They're trying to find their needs. Like you have to do the best as you could be because you cannot return back in time. You cannot regret eventually. So this is the thing. Regret cannot redo your past. So that is actually what we have. As long as you have the will to do the best that you could be in adolescent stage, you try to find your needs as much as possible. Try to do the best as you could be because when you reach this stage, you have to look back in our lives. You know, that's the reason why when you are actually with your grandmother, with your grandfather, all folks, all people in the family, isn't it that they talk so much about their exploit when they were young? Isn't it? Do you have grandparents? Of course, no. Have you talked to them? Maybe. Do you talk to them more often? Maybe yes, maybe no, because other people could actually be raised by their grandparents, no? Now, when you talk to them, isn't it that they are telling stories over and over again? From sun up to sundown, they will tell stories over and over again. You know why? Because that's the only way that they can maintain their integrity. You see? Now, if they believe, because they believe, no? If we believe that our lives have been well spent, then there is a sense of integrity. But if our lives are not well spent, then there is a sense of despair over and over again, over the value of one's life. You see? That's why they keep on recalling their exploit in the past. They keep on recalling the achievements in the past. Because once that they would not do that, they will not feel that they were so useful. Now, what we can do as belonging to younger generation, we do not need to laugh at them. You know, I have grandparents. When I would visit, but my grandparents died long time back. When my grandparents were actually alive, I would go to them. You know, I would sit down with them for hours, and I would listen to them. I would listen to their stories. You know, their opening when they would tell us their stories, they would always say, "When I was young, you know, I did this and I did that." Then they would tell the stories without fail. Okay, first day when I would do that, they would tell the same. The following day, when I would visit again my grandparents, you know, they would tell similar story. Another day would come, maybe a week after, you come to them, you stay with them, you listen to their story, they would tell similar story. Because they are trying to glory their past, to glorify their past. They are trying to find integrity in the life that thing would otherwise become useless. Why? Because they are becoming dependent. Their dependency to people is well established, like becoming children. Children, infants were dependents. Now, yeah, the grandparents would always be dependent also. You know, when you try to help them, sometimes they would dismiss you, but in the end, they require you. This is the thing. They are trying to find their integrity. They're trying to find themselves intact until such time that they could not do that anymore. So that's the reason why when you see patients in geriatric ward, you will see that they surrender. No, they would actually be very, their integrity was actually threatened. No, and their independence was absent, would not be present. They would always be dependent this time on whatever they need, physical, biological, at the same time psychological. So they are becoming children once more. Just like that. Life is like that. Take note of that. As I keep on telling, so that we will actually maintain our humility, everybody will die. You're lucky if you reach stage. You congratulate your grandparents if they reach this stage because they have already done what they wanted in life. And that only is when they are very, very productive. In the stage of Eric Erickson, this is belonging to the stage number 6. You see, you already at your peak and trying to raise your family. So this is actually the most sensible thing that we could actually do, trying to find our needs as early as possible, trying to be helpful with other people. Okay? So is there any question about Eric Erickson? Guys, I would like to hear your voice because I do not want to think that I'm alone. Do you hear me? Can you hear me? Anyone?
Yes, doctor.
Yes,
You are
Yes,
good.
doctor. Because sometimes this is actually the most difficult thing when you are teaching, no? Here online, because students are supposed to be presenting, are supposed to have their video so that I can actually, I'm sure that I have some students, no? I have students who are listening to me or interacting with me. No, this is the thing. This is actually the limitation sometimes, especially when students do not interact. It would be very difficult, no? Anyway, moving forward. So we are done with Jan Pede, yeah? Then we are done also, Jan Pede, cognitive development, Sigmund Freud, the teacher of Eric Erikson. We have psychosexual. His oral, anal, phallic, latency, and genital stages. Then we have also Eric Erikson, its stages, the student of Sigmund Freud. He was able to formulate 8 stages of human development. The only main difference between the two would be that of Sigmund Freud, the personality of a person would actually be developed at the age of 7, while Eric Erikson is that the personality of the person actually would be developed over time. You see? And he mentioned about its stages. And I would actually tell you the most important stage of developing in this life is in your uh, 6 stage, because you're trying to achieve what you need to achieve. At the age, on the fifth stage, no, this is actually where you belong. You have to be very careful. You should know by now what you want in life, so that you can actually look into it. You look forward to be on the next stage when you're going to raise your family already, because at one point, when you are at the top of your life, at the top of your profession, at the top of your family life, there will be a point that you feel so stagnated. In the end, your development will go down, and you're going to question your integrity. If you question that, then the despair will actually develop. So all people will actually do that all the time. So be thankful that you have old people in your family, because they have passed through these stages of development already, and they have been scarred with life battle. Life is a battle, because we have to look into so many circumstances, bad and good circumstances, until such time that we would be injured. Injury will be there. But of course, these are part of life. These are part of human experiences that would make who we are and what we are. Anyway, moving forward, we proceed now in understanding emotional development. Now, so you should know that the majority of individual development, the majority of the emotions of everyone here. So we move forward on emotional development. Now, one, we identify emotional reactions by noting the baby's reaction. Take note of this. Emotion could be developed as early as when you are born or inside the mother's womb. I still believe in that, no? So when you are inside the mother's womb, when all your senses, when all your organs have been fully developed, you could actually hear, so you could actually react, you could move inside your mother's womb when you are still a fetus, no? So when they would hear your voice, they would react. The emotional reactions would always be there. Now, you can easily observe the emotional reaction of the baby when you see them, but inside you could not see, but you could actually feel them, especially the mother, no? Uh, Especially when they are in a certain situation. They respond. The child will respond. When you are going to observe the responses, you will see. No, that's how we develop. Uh, the child actually, no. This is very important, because as of now, I believe you have some relatives who do have children at home. Now, the reaction is actually, as we think, very funny most of the time, especially when we annoy them. We like to annoy them. Who does not want to annoy a child? Anyone? When you are with a child, you want to annoy them or not? Yeah, when you are going to annoy them, we are very happy about the reaction, isn't it? The more they are annoyed, the more we do things, isn't it?
yes, yes,
Yeah, when they are annoyed, they cry, they fight back, right?
yes.
Now, what is this? How is the reaction? What are these reactions? These are emotional reactions. You see? They feel anger. It's good that they will identify anger. When you give them something, they express something already, express through emotions. That will be nourished through time. So they will know anger as early as possible. They know joy as early as possible because these are all different types of emotions that we could actually be. But of course, I'm going to ask you, do not be so happy when you are annoying them because you are actually telling them it's okay to be to be annoyed. It's okay to be angry all the time, you know. But human as we are, we would like to see people who are crying. We would like to see children who cry. We would like to see children who are being annoyed, right? Especially we actually take their candies or anything that they want most. So this is the thing. So they react. So in that way, they are always trying to develop their emotions. Now, now how do they express children? How would they express their emotions? They cry. That's number one. They kick. When they do not speak, when there is no reaction, they cringe. The mouth, the teeth, no? They withdraw, right? Now, all these things will actually indicate the feeling of the child. So you have to be very careful about this. And that's the reason why I am telling you, the more child, you see, the most dominant thing that the child will experience, particularly emotional reaction, would always be the thing that would be dominant when they will be adults. Like, for instance, when you get annoying the children, what happens when they will become old? When they will become like you, they will get annoyed also. They can easily get angry also. You see? So that's the thing. So this, but when you show so much care, so much love to children, they like it, there will be joy. So that when they grow old, they will be more resilient to anything that they would to anything that they would encounter in their life. They would be loving, they would be more forgiving when they grow old. So this is actually the connection. Everything, all the emotional reactions that we have could actually be connected on how and why on the process of growing up. And with the encounter of children to their immediate family members, especially the brothers and sisters and the parents. Moving forward, no? The studies of emotion actually point to the many-sided importance of emotions, that not just the pleasant ones. See, child must always know that they are angry when they are angry. So it's not always necessary that we are going to give them pleasant emotions. Sometimes the child may always know or may also know that they would actually be angry. That's the reason why we have to release children. Sometimes parents are afraid to make the children unhappy. How is that? They give everything that the child wants. How is that? Isn't it? So eventually, in the end, the child will destroy their lives just because parents did not do their part. As early as infancy, children must know also the opposite sides of emotion. No? If you feel joy, there would always be loneliness. Yeah? And so on. So this is actually very important. No? Each emotion will contribute to the kind of personal and social adjustment that we can make out of the child. Take note, okay? They should know how and when they're angry. They should know how and when they are happy. So they should know the different types of emotions that you could actually have. So that when you grow old also, you should know how to react properly. Now, emotions very important, but because it will prepare our body for actions. Like for instance, fear. Fear is an emotion. So what does it do? We are prepared to actually counter attack, counter react. We are going to prepare ourselves. You have been doing that all the time, especially when you, at the end of the semester, you receive your mark and it's F. So you immediately are anxious and afraid. What will I tell my parents? So that will actually somewhat prepare you to do or to make strategy. Now, it will also actually, let's say, it will also be indicative in your plight and fight reactions. When we tackle stress, no, we have to look into the work of Hans Selye. All right, he is actually the leading proponent of stress. Now, emotions color the child's outlook in life. Now, take a look at this. If childhood, if your childhood is all the while happy, what will you become? Can I ask you one question, please? And I would like, I expecting that everyone or somebody will actually answer. Is there anybody of you here who just experienced one type of emotions when you were young? That means to say, you are very happy when you were young. You did not have a chance to be angry with anybody. You're just actually happy. Is there anybody who could actually assume that or claim that?
Like along the way, the whole time when I was a child?
Yeah.
Of course not.
Mhm. Very good. Anyone else? I challenge you. No one would actually do that, no? That means to say, if you are just happy, your life is abnormal, isn't it? Along the way, you should know anger. You should know also happiness in a way, right?
Yes.
Because this is a process, no? Because this will color your life. You should know when you are expecting something. You should know how to control your emotions. It will affect your social interactions also, you see? So now, of course, all these emotional reactions that will color your life will leave mark on your facial expressions. And at the same time, it will affect your psychological climate. It will teach you how to react. Immediately, look at this now. Number one, what is the reason why you are attached to so much to your parents? You can easily recognize them anywhere. You are attached really because of this love and hate relationship. Is there anybody here who can tell me that they 100% love their parents so much from the beginning? There was no point that you get angry with them. There was no point that you wish them harm when you were young. Come on. Children are very innocent. Sometimes they think differently. No? Sometimes they wish harm to their parents when you were young because that's innocent thinking. That's normal. Then later on, you can easily forgive your parents because they give you something in return. See, that's the reason why there's love and hate, love and hate, love and hate. But because of that relationship, you grow closer to your parents. You see, you grow closer with your parents. The relationship that you have is well established. That's a very good thing. See, moving forward, look when you're going to have your relationship already. In Eric Erickson, when you have already your intimacy, when you get married, what are you expecting? Is it a happy marriage all the time, 100% of the way, or not?
No way it's going to be a happy marriage. And no way it's going to be a pink life, a bumpy life. It's impossible. It has to be ups and downs, problems and, happy moments.
That's very good. No, I'm very happy about that. No, to
Or my
hear from
husband's
you.
going to be an angel, and it's impossible, Annie. If there are no problems, it's impossible.
Yeah. I think 2 days ago I read in the newspaper in here, no, United Arab Emirates, or I think it was published in Khalid's time. The woman divorced the husband because the husband was so perfect. Have you heard of that?
The woman was trying to do what?
No, the husband was perfect. That means to say, the husband would not even quarrel. The husband would not say anything that would offend the wife. So, incidentally, the wife divorced him because it's not challenging.
I believe she's such a strong woman.
Maybe. So
I
imagine
haven't
there is
heard.
no such. You try to look into Khalid's time. If you're going to analyze the situation, actually, there is no such thing as a happy marriage. A happy marriage will just a makeup of ups and downs. Don't expect that when you're going to get married, you are going to walk in the park. It's not like that. There will always be contradiction. There will be always quarrel. So that's how we're going to make our relationship work. That's how you're going to grow your emotion with the person that you're with. If there is no ups and downs, if there is no quarrel and make up, if there is no, if you are not going to make your husband an enemy or your wife an enemy, eventually there will be no makeup. Then the life will be boring. A marriage life will be boring. So in a matter of looking into relationship, it's just like that. You see, that's the reason why when you are young, there is no such thing as perfect parents. Can you tell me that you have a perfect parents? Maybe we can always say outside, especially when people would actually ask us, who are your parents and what your parents are? Can you tell me about your parents? Oh, I got a perfect parents. When they are going to speak, when you're going to speak to a psychologist like me, I will all say, I will not believe you anymore. Do you understand what I mean? Because when you were children, sometimes parents, you think that they are imperfect. You know why? Because sometimes you ask things they do not want to give. You hate them. Then once in a while, they give you something, you love them. Love, hate, love, hate. That's how we nourish our relationship with them. That's how we know how to hate. That's how we know how to love. That's how we develop our emotion. So that when you grow old, you can recognize when you're happy, you can recognize when you're upset, so that you can control that. Imagine you're going to be very happy all throughout. That will be very impossible. It will be very taxing. You see, there must always be ups and downs. That should be a part of our life. The only thing that I would really want like to emphasize is that as you are actually growing, you should recognize the different types of emotion and you should know how to control these different types of emotion. See, like for instance, expressing anger. When you express anger, especially when you are already on stage 6, what happens to you? In Eric Erickson, what will happen to you? People will think of you differently. Now, when you are going to have children, you would always emphasize this. Child, it's okay to get angry. Express it. Tell me. You see, that's the reason why sometimes children, you see them children, when they do not get what they want, what do? They cry. They hold you hostage. Sometimes they would actually, they would create quite a scene, isn't it? Have you seen children like that? We should be very careful in handling them. No? Have you seen people like that? Have you seen children like that?
Yes.
Maybe you experience themselves, no?
Yes, also. Yani me and, my nieces and nephews. We all
Yeah,
went through this.
yeah, we have to be very careful, in handling that. Especially, I have seen so many people. I have seen so many of this in the department store. Especially in the toy store, right? In the toy store, this is when you. As a psychologist, I really would like to observe people in the toy store. When you are going to buy something there for your children, you think that you are buying that for them, isn't it? So what happens is that the child insists on what he wants to buy from that store. But the mother or the father would not budge in. The child says, this is what I want. I want to buy this. The mother said, no, this is what you're going to buy. So there would always be a standoff. Then eventually, there will be a breakdown in the standoff. What happens? The child will cry on the floor. maybe throwing anything that he can handle, right or wrong. So the child will
Yes, they will make us
actually,
ruined. They will embarrass us. I hate them.
how are you going to react on that? You see? So you feel so embarrassed. So what happens next? What are you going to do? How are you going to react on that? I see so many parents, no? I observe them. What would you feel? What would you do?
I
Obviously,
have
the
two
child will be
options.
angry.
Yeah, I have two
Yeah.
options. Whether I will never take them again, or we will plan from the beginning, whether you will take this game or not.
All
But don't go
right.
and make a scene there because, Yani, I'm not in the mood for you.
Anyone else, class, who would actually try to tell me the reactions when you have this? How are you going to handle that situation? It's timely, because in 2 years now you will get married. You should know how to handle kids. They should know how to understand also, how to understand you.
I have an option. Um, I can like take whatever he wants. I'll put it in the trolley, and then once we reach the cashier, I will not involve it in the items, and that's it. Problem solved.
Uh, yeah, I tell you that's not problem solved. You know why? At the end of the day, the child will look for it. Where is that? Then the child will not trust you anymore. That's the thing. See, we are going to develop and operate on the spirit of trust. Now, you see, this is always the thing that I'm actually telling my students, especially people that I counsel, especially when they have typical children like this. The only thing that we can do is not to confront one another. The only thing that we can actually do is to tell. The child will understand, to tell the reason why is it that you do not want this. You do not want to buy this. You have to explain that to them. Particularly number one, most of the contradictions that we have in the toy store would always be involving money. Number two, involving on what you want and what the child wants. Number one, on money. The child must always realize this. When you go to the store and when the child cries, you will always actually get hold of the child and embrace the child as much as you could so that the child will not anymore react, so that the child will calm down. See? And in a way, you prevent the scene from happening. Then eventually go to a corner, explain the child, we have no money to buy that. Our money is limited. You see? We are not very rich, as you know that. So I can only afford this. For now, we cannot buy this because we do not have money. We cannot afford to buy this. I'm so sure, boiler, if you're going to tell that, the child will not insist. And the child will go on what you want. And this is an honest thing, no? So when you embrace them, very hard. Do not let them escape. Do not let them. Sometimes they are going to react. So do not let them. But of course, make it sure that they are not going to break their bones when you're going to embrace them. They will calm down. That's the only way. Then after that, tell them the truth. And you have to be very honest also when you are actually trying to buy something. Because you see, the tendency that we are actually having when we go to the department store or toy store is that we want to buy the toys that we want, not that the child wants. You see, look at how your growth is actually influencing your choice, how your stagnation is actually influencing your choice. Look at the theory of development by these different theories, psychologists. You see, just because when you were young, your parents did not buy you this. Now you have money and you have the capacity to buy, so you are buying what you want. In the end, when you go there, you buy what you want and not what the child wants. The thing is, the child does not want what you want. So there will be confrontation, there will be problem. So you have to be very honest about yourself when you're going to do that. You care for this, observe this, When you go to the toy store and you buy toys for your children, what are you going to do at home? When you reach home, who will be the one to open the toy that you bought, that you want, and not what the child wants? I am 100% sure that you, as a parent, would be the one to open the toy, the toy of your choice, not what the child wants. See, this is looking back in your childhood. This is a reflection of what stagnated when you were a child. This is how, in Freud's perspective, maybe when you were a child, you wanted something, you did not explain very well, you are still stagnated in the oral stage. You see? So these are the things that you have to look forward to. Growing and letting children grow, other people grow with us would actually be very difficult. You see? Because when you are forming a relationship with your children, you're also trying to discover who you are, and the child would actually discover who they are. They're actually in complex. You're actually in a complex situation, trying to grow together. The child is a child, and you are a woman already, trying to look who you are, trying to find who you are. So these are some of the complexities that we have. That's the reason why a child must experience all the emotions that they could have. They should be familiar with this. Do not shield the child from expressing anger. Do not stop them. At home, let them be. Let them express anger. When they throw things, make it sure that they are not going to harm themselves and harm others. Other people actually are actually doing that, throwing things, especially when they are a tantrum. No, we call this as tantrum. No, when they are doing tantrum, make it sure that children will not hurt others. That's the only way that you could actually do it. Then after that, there will be a point when the child will stop. There will be a point when the child will be quiet. What is the next thing that you could actually do? Do not scold the child. Explain why his behavior is not acceptable. The child will listen. Do not talk to them as if they are children and you are going to talk to them in the language of the child. It will not be. So you talk to them as if you are normal because you are adult and they are children. So they will listen to you. Explain no matter what. Everything that you do, you have to explain to the children so that the children will actually understand. That's why when they're angry and express their anger, explain after expression of their anger, because they should actually do that. When they're happy also, try to encourage more that they are happy. Try to find out why they are happy about, what they are happy about. Well, they will realize about their behavior. They will realize about their emotional reaction to things. This is the only way. You see? So it will actually help the child to grow properly. You see? So this is the thing. It will create a mark in their face. It will create a mark in their facial expression, in their emotional expression, in their behavior, in their bodily expression. So this is what we are actually looking into. You see, that's the reason why if you're going to look people who are actually different, look at their faces. That is the first thing that I am actually having. When I first interact with people, I really would like to see their faces. You know why? Because I should know when they are happy or they have happy childhood. I should know when they have not a happy childhood. That is the thing. Because it could actually leave a mark in your face. When you're going to encounter people as if the whole world is on their shoulder, they cannot even smile. Maybe there is a problem when they're with children. That's the reason why you should actually know how to handle this situation. As a psychologist, I really have seen so many people like this. Now, as a teacher, I have seen so many people like this, so many students like this, and of course, so many co-workers like this. So once that you can actually see how they react, how they behave, you would always think and remember, most probably you could always find out about their childhood. So this is the thing, it will create a mark. So the child must always learn how to be angry, how to express their emotions. They must not be stuck. Now, in some cultures, actually, they do not even allow children to express. This is actually a big problem, especially us, no? Especially when we talk. Before the child opens the mouth, the child will be stopped by parents. That's not good. As if the child is not allowed to talk. Encourage them. Son, are you angry with me? See? Tell me, why is it that you're angry? Or the opposite, when you are angry with your child, you give the name, of course. I'm angry with you. Or I am angry with what you did because of this and that. So the child will actually understand what are the things that he did so that he will not do that again. So this is the thing, you have to be very honest in forming a relationship with your children because that's how children will grow emotionally. Everything must be explained, you see? So that's the thing. Allow the child to speak also their mind. So this is the thing, no? Especially in our table, sometimes it's very difficult in the patriarchal society where the father is always treated as the head of the family. So the child, the father is always right, and children are always wrong. So they are not even allowed to discuss anything. So that's actually a very big problem, no? When you're going to raise a family, when you're going to raise children, make it sure that your children will actually talk to you openly as much as they can. They are allowed also to express anything as they wish. So that's the thing. No? Anger and jealousy from social interaction. The most prevalent and predominant human experience that we have would be negative emotions would be anger. No? And of course, jealousy. Especially when you're raising multiple children in the family. When you have a family that's actually one year apart, that is actually very difficult, no? Because as human as we are, sometimes, although I'm going to tell you that we should not actually treat anyone as favorite, but there will always be someone who would be there to us and someone who would be less there to us, dear to us. So that means to say we favor others, no? So there will be jealousy here, no? It will actually prompt social interactions. One learns to modify or redirect emotions to conventions, conformity, generally accepted standards and expectations, no? Now, any emotional expression that gives satisfaction to the child, take note of this. Any expression that is giving satisfaction of the child will always tend to be repeated and it will become a part of the human habit, a human behavior. It will be a formation of habit. No? So that's the reason why minimize anger, but they should learn how to be angry. Always allow your children to be happy as they should be. Now, when they are actually experiencing or showing happiness all the time, all the behaviors and action that they did that would actually have caused emotional reactions of happiness would always be repeated over time. So you would act, since it would actually be formed as habit, it would be carried all throughout your lifetime. Okay? So for your first attendance, I really would like you to try a present now, and then we shall have to have a break until 10:45. Okay? Can you do that? But before you do that, you do your break. Please write present first. That will be your attendance before I'm going to close our session for this before the break. Now, we commence our session at 10:45. Okay. Thank you. Good.